Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. I am the author of A Saga on Home Video, a fan's guide to U.S. Star Wars home video releases, which is available in its first edition right now over on Amazon. A second edition will be coming that is in full color later this year, but if you want to get a jump on that, first edition is out there if you're curious about a narrative history of Star Wars home video in the U.S. with a few little sidebars to other regions. You can also follow me over on Patreon. It is patreon.com/NathanPButler. Folks who are over there on Patreon who are supporting at the $5 or $10 tiers are able to get themselves some exclusive content like exclusive Q&A videos and some exclusive audio commentaries like for the Clone Wars and whatnot. There's also a $1 tier if you want to get yourself into the thanks on our monthly project update videos or in the second edition of A Saga on Home Video. Okay, have I covered everything that everybody keeps telling me I should be plugging in each episode instead of just kind of assuming people are going to see it? Have I covered that now? Good. This is the second in a series of what I thought was going to be 8, but is going to turn out to be 9 episodes of this series that are focusing in on the March and April 2020 new releases of Star Wars products. In episode 261, we already looked at the 4K releases of episodes 1 through 7 and Rogue One. They came to me early so we could look at them early. This time we're looking at all the US releases of the Rise of Skywalker. Next episode we will look at the American Skywalker Saga box set, which here is a Best Buy exclusive. Then, later on, we're also going to be taking a look at the 2 episodes that were not released, or the 2 movies that were not released in the US in the new 4K packaging, which are Last Jedi and Solo. We're taking a look at those from Australia. We will also be at some point taking a look at another batch from Australia, which is going to give us a chance to sort of compare the different Australian releases to the US releases because they are handling them differently. We're going to be looking at all the UK releases of Rise of Skywalker and Skywalker Saga. We're going to be taking a look at the Steelbook, sort of more elaborate release coming out of Japan, and the Japanese Skywalker Saga. So lots and lots of episodes still to come on this topic, but for this episode and the next, we're focusing on the US releases as we did back in 261. So, again, for those who are new to the show, this is not an unboxing. This is not a product review. This is an educational series designed to look at home video for Star Wars as it has evolved over time. So there's a lot of context that is given here. Consider these lessons on Star Wars home video. If you're looking for a straight unboxing or a straight review, look elsewhere. That's not what this is. So, that all aside, context-wise, we need to think back to what's been happening in the last couple of years for Star Wars home video releases. You may recall that in 2018, we actually had 2 Star Wars home video releases of new movies, right? Because we had Last Jedi early in the year, and then because of its May release, we also had Solo late in the year. So we had a pair to sort of look at as things continued to evolve on the home video market in the US. Now, you may recall there was a change that was happening in the US around the time of Last Jedi. You had Last Jedi getting a DVD-only release, and the regular Blu-ray version that was out there for the very first time did not include a DVD in the US. It was simply a multi-screen edition that had Blu-ray and digital copy, but no DVD. However, if you did want to have a Blu-ray DVD digital combo pack, you had plenty of options still out there. You could have gotten the Steelbook at Best Buy, one of the 2 Steelbooks, because there was a 4K Blu-ray digital Steelbook. You could have gotten the exclusive over at Walmart with those changeable covers. You could have gotten that Target exclusive, the first to be the one that includes the little book and whatnot. This one actually included an extra disc to give you an extra featurette, as we will see is similar to what's happening with Rise of Skywalker. And you could have gone through Disney Movie Club and gotten this exclusive that looks just like, pretty much, the regular Blu-ray version, except this multi-screen edition does include DVD. So DVD was slowly working its way out the door, but you could still get it. You just had to get either this one from Disney Movie Club or the ones from Target, Walmart, or Best Buy. You had to get an exclusive version to a particular retailer or buy the DVD separately. It wasn't considered a standard pack-in. By later that year, things had changed again, because for Solo, you could have gotten a DVD copy by itself, again, no shock there, and the multi-screen edition that was in most stores, again, just standard Blu-ray and digital code. Walmart even took it a step further and gave you a crappy exclusive that was just Blu-ray with no digital code at all and no DVD. And if you wanted a copy of the film on DVD with your Blu-ray copy, there was actually no retail exclusive at any of the brick and mortar stores where you could have gotten it. There was only one option to do that, and it was again Disney Movie Club doing it with this variant of the multi-screen edition with Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. Well, that was in 2018. It is now 2020. The question that was raised was, will there even be a DVD release of Rise of Skywalker in the US? And if so, will there be any options anywhere, even within Disney Movie Club, to give us a DVD packed in with some other version? We're going to find out that turned out to be disappointing for DVD fans, but a step perhaps towards the future, slowly but surely, on the US front. And so begins our look at the Rise of Skywalker. The most basic release of Rise of Skywalker you can get in the United States is this one. It is a DVD-only release, as expected. DVD only, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, poster art there. Your spine, very much like what we saw with Last Jedi in terms of coloration. We have DVD video, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, little picture of BB-8, product number, and Lucasfilm. Then on the back, of course, we have Rey, we have our proof of purchase information, everything you want from a Star Wars film. We have our description. We have our characters, stats there, widescreen, and then tells us what the language options and such are. Cast crew information here, runtime, NTSC, Region 1, Dolby Digital, etc., etc., etc. All of our little indicators down here. Warning! Some flashing light scenes in this film may affect photosensitive viewers. It's the first time a Star Wars film's gotten that kind of warning. Then information here about your player, and making sure that it applies to all standard blah blah blah. Rating, and then down here, a 2020 DVD release. Thank you for specifying, I suppose. Inside, you get a slip for points, but note the points, and yes, these have all been redeemed, but knock yourself out if you want to try to use the codes again. I don't think it'll work. It says, join the adventure. Rise of Skywalker code tells you the website to redeem it on and your legalese and whatnot. Notice this is Disney Movie Insiders, not Disney Movie Rewards. That has changed. The rewards are crappier now, basically. But we'll talk about the codes here momentarily. It gives you the steps and whatnot to use it, and then the website again. The disc is Finn. So we have Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker up at the top, DVD video, Lucasfilm, feature film, approximate runtime, rating, Dolby Digital, Region 1, NTSC, legalese going around the edges here. Notice it's modeled with the logo up at the top, unlike the ones with the logo at the bottom from September 2019 for the other films. But that's it. If you wanted to get a DVD copy of Rise of Skywalker, this is your only option. Disney Movie Club did not offer a combo pack for Blu-ray DVD digital this time. That ended with Solo. Nowhere else had any retailer exclusives that included the DVD disc. So if you want DVD in the US for Rise of Skywalker, this is it. Also note, as we'll see in the next episode, the US didn't get any kind of Skywalker Saga box sets outside of the Best Buy exclusive one that is 4K Blu-ray digital. There is no way to get a DVD version that way either, although in some regions, like in the UK, there is a DVD-only Skywalker Saga box set. Does not exist over here. This is your only option if you're still clinging to DVD and the region locking and standard definition that goes with it. The second of these standard releases was this one, again called a multi-screen edition. Again, Blu-ray digital, as we've seen, somewhat embossed. Similar setup here. Of course, it has your Movies Anywhere stuff down here. Multi-screen edition, just the way that all the multi-screen editions, as they call them, are set up. Spine, Blu-ray, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, BB-8. Product number down here. No Lucasfilm this time. Same thing on the other side. Back, slightly reworked, of course, because it is Blu-ray. Digital code included. Watch anywhere with the Movies Anywhere app. Download or stream Movies Anywhere. Blu-ray bonus extras. Bonus varies by format. The Skywalker Legacy documentary. The story lives forever in this feature-length look at the making of the movie. Then it also mentions Pisana Pursuit, creating the speeder chase, D.O., Key to the Past, and more. Little window for your barcode. Everything you want in a Star Wars film. Again, from Owen Gleiberman at Variety. Description again. Pictures again. Vital stats again. In this case, you got your just a little bit of cast crew type stuff down here, but not much. Mostly directing and writing credits. Various symbol indicators like region ABC and whatnot. Lots and lots of legalese kind of stuff. Rating. Again, that warning about flashing colors. iTunes version requires an iTunes account. No! Really? Then we have more digital code legalese kind of stuff down here at the bottom. Inside, as expected, a Blu-ray case that is essentially set up the same way or very close to it. In this case, you do have Lucasfilm on the spine, and the back is slightly reworked, but not by much. Okay, Inside your case, you have your digital copy code. Notice all the digital copy codes that actually give you a digital copy, not just Disney Movie Insider points, are going to note at the top, exclusive digital bonus offer included with your Rise of Skywalker digital movie code. The Maestro's Finale. Composer John Williams reflects on his body of work for the Star Wars saga and shares insights on scoring The Rise of Skywalker. Not available from all service providers. It has your code and your information on how to do this. Bear in mind that unlike what has happened in the past with some Target exclusives where there was an exclusive that was digital only and they had a special code listed on the sheet with a special thing saying, hey, this is exclusive, this is the case for all of these. All digital redemptions are going to include the Maestro's Finale. You don't need to worry about where you got your digital code from. Then inside you have 2 discs. We have the feature film, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, legalese going around, runtime, rating, Dolby Digital, region ABC, so all region or region free, Blu-ray, Lucasfilm, feature film, and the tech spec, if you need help, kind of boxed down here. Very similar to what we saw in the Blu-ray copies from those 4K packs. Same day release. And then there's your bonus disc. Again, the image down at the bottom, grayscale as opposed to color, in fitting with those releases as well. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, legalese, Blu-ray bonus, Dolby Digital, ABC, Lucasfilm, Tech Helpline. Now, as for what you get bonus feature-wise on that bonus disc, you're going to wind up getting the Skywalker Legacy, which is this great feature-length documentary about the development of the film that sometimes does bring in clips from earlier in the saga, so you get a chance to see Lucas a couple of times and stuff like that. We have Pisana Pursuit, Creating the Speeder Chase, Aliens in the Desert, Dio, Key to the Past, Warwick and Son, Cast of Creatures, and that's basically it as far as bonus features. There is no commentary at all on the Blu-ray. There is no commentary at all, as we will see on the 4K copy either. Now, if you go through and you do redeem this digital code, where you go makes a slight difference, even though the code itself does not. First off, I would suggest go and redeem your digital code first on Disney Movie Insiders. It does not seem to block duplicates. So if you bought multiple copies, it used to be that with Disney Movie Rewards, even if they were different ones from different places, sometimes it would block you from getting the points and assume that you've already bought this thing. In this case, I had a Target copy that came damaged that I redeemed the code for, and then I got a Target copy that was in pristine condition and wound up redeeming the code from that, and both of them work for Disney Movie Insiders. It does not seem to be blocking duplicates at all. So do that first. Then go to Movies Anywhere and do your digital redemption, and your digital redemption is going to redeem it just once for whatever level. So if you redeem like the 4K version, it's going to unlock everything underneath it, so your Blu-ray code will not work. If you redeem the Blu-ray code and then the 4K code, it's like it upgrades it, so it does accept the 4K code, but it unlocks a 4K version alongside what's already unlocked when it would have unlocked everything anyway. So start with your 4K codes, then you'll probably wind up with codes left to spare in that case. And before I go any further, just a note, when it comes to these extra digital codes, typically what I will do is I will first ask anybody on my personal Facebook page, family and friends, if they're in need of them. And if there are any left after that point, I'll tend to share them by asking if anybody needs them on the Star Wars Home Video group on Facebook. There is no need to ask me in the comments here or email me or shoot me a message on Twitter, particularly if I don't know you, to be like, hey, can I have your digital codes or can I buy your digital codes? Because that's not the way that I distribute them, and I've talked about that before. But since these are new releases, I'm sure the questions will continue to come up. It's come up more this time than it has any other time. So again, Disney Movie Insiders first, then redeem the 4K copy, and then you probably won't need to redeem the Blu-ray copy. And then any of those other codes you're going to have, they're just extras that are spares, but you should be able to get Disney Movie Insider points from all of them. I think at this point, if they do another release quite like this one, the next time there's a Star Wars film, I may be able to actually buy Disney with my Disney Movie Insiders points. Now, speaking of the digital copy, whether you bought the digital copy, say, on the 13th, right? And that was a unique thing in and of itself, by the way. We were supposed to get the digital copy for Last Jedi on Tuesday, March 17th. Then the COVID-19 coronavirus thing started, and on the 13th, Friday the 13th of March 2020, President Trump announced a national state of emergency in relation to COVID-19. And on that same day, Disney decided, among other things being released early, that they would release Rise of Skywalker on that day instead of waiting until the following Tuesday. So we got a 4-day jump on Rise of Skywalker. But whether you've redeemed a code or bought it digitally, make sure on Movies Anywhere that you have linked all your different accounts for other services like iTunes, Google Play, Fandango Now, whatever, to make sure you get the most out of that, because it'll synchronize across all those platforms and give you the content on all those platforms, even if that content is not available elsewhere. Again, everybody gets Maestro's finale, but on Vudu, you get an 8-minute extra feature called End of the Saga. On Amazon Prime, you get a chance to, or Amazon Video, whatever they're calling it now, Prime Video, whatever. You get a chance to watch the film with the X-ray mode, as you could for the others. And iTunes has some picture galleries, and we're talking a lot of pictures. 70 concept art pieces, 22 posters, and 89 production photography pictures. So pretty cool there. I didn't see any extra features for Fandango Now, Microsoft Movies and TV, Sony, Movies Anywhere itself, Google Play. I could not check Xfinity or Verizon because I don't have accounts with either of those. I would also note that for some of these services like Microsoft Store, if you had pre-ordered, you'd have gotten immediate access to the exclusive featurette entitled Legacy, which was bullshit because the Legacy featurette that was an exclusive is actually the thing that was previously just called the Rise of Skywalker featurette and released on YouTube in November 2019 on the official Star Wars channel. They tend to do this. They reuse stuff that's already on YouTube, call it something else, and make it a supposed pre-order bonus for these digital platforms. Most of the time, it's bogus. It's stuff you could watch for free already. The last of the regular releases then is this. Again, it is a 4K release being referred to as the Ultimate Collector's Edition, which is neither Ultimate nor a Collector's Edition. 4K Ultra HD, 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray plus digital code. The Rise of Skywalker, it is embossed, different cover here, of course. Ultimate Collector's Edition, the little Movies Anywhere thing down here. Ultra HD Blu-ray, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, that picture of BB-8 again, Lucasfilm and product numbers, same thing on the other side. On the back, kind of a departure from the norm, we have a UPC symbol, we have the warning about the flashing stuff, we have a distribution notice down here, like copyright type notice, and just Kylo without any information about the film itself. For that, we have to take off the slipcover, and underneath, it looks a lot like our standard Blu-ray and DVD. Again, 4K Ultra HD on the actual case, 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray plus digital code, non-embossed, of course. We have our cover art here, very much like the others. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Ultimate Collector's Edition, and our Movies Anywhere stuff here. Spine, Ultra HD Blu-ray, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, BB-8 product number, Lucasfilm. The back similar to the Blu-ray, but of course it has to make room for all the 4K stuff, so it's moved stuff around a little bit. So we have the Everything You Want quote up here, UPC, information about the film, nothing about the Skywalker Legacy thing up here, images of characters, digital code included. Here's what's on the 4K disc, here's what's on the Blu-ray disc. This is where they mention the Skywalker Legacy. Cast crew information, lots and lots and lots of legalese and whatnot. Rating there. Our various symbols, again, the warning about the flashing stuff, the iTunes note, and more legalese down here. Okay, so similarly designed, but shifted around into the standard 4K style. Again, digital code, same looking sheet. It would unlock the 4K version instead of just an HD version. Your Blu-ray film disc and your Blu-ray bonus disc are the exact same. And then here's our new component, the 4K disc with a very pouty, wet Kylo Ren. How dare you make me walk through water? I think you walk on water, but you made me walk through water. Bum, bum, bum. Dyad. So Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, legalese, feature runtime, Lucasfilm, feature film, 4K Ultra HD, tech spec, type of, if you have trouble, call us kind of thing, or go to the website kind of thing. Says, for assistance with your Blu-ray disc, visit, blah, blah, blah. Then we got our rating, Dolby Digital, Dolby Atmos, Ultra HD Blu-ray, region-free symbol. Again, no extra bonus features on the 4K, no commentary or anything like that. It is just the film. Now, as is so often the case lately, ever really since Rogue One, if you were to pre-order any of those 3 regular versions of Rise of Skywalker through Disney Movie Club, who again did not have an exclusive this time that was Blu-ray, DVD, digital like they did for the previous couple, nothing like that existed, they were just the regular ones you could buy anywhere else, you would get a special lithograph to go with it. Only this time the lithograph form has somewhat changed. The mini lithograph is now in this purple border. It says Disney Movie Club, Disney's lithograph collection is commissioned exclusively for Disney Movie Club. Each lithograph is part of a collectible series and available for a limited time only. There's a copyright date down there. But the actual litho is different now. Usually it's just a straight picture from the film. Here you have something that is reflective. You have something that is embossed. It's now just the picture up here with Disney Movie Club and then the title of the film underneath with a very slight border around it all that you can barely see there. Okay, you can see the embossing on the back. So they've changed up the style of the mini lithographs. But again, you could get the mini litho with any of those three. In fact, perhaps all of those three. I actually did orders for the DVD version, the 4K version, and the Blu-ray version, which was the first one that I ordered. Eventually adding the other two because you couldn't find the DVD-only version hardly anywhere, and I just wanted everything to come to me in the mail during all the craziness right now. And they left out one of them. But now they're sending a replacement straight to me, so I'll have one to go with each. So if they're still available, you can try to grab them now. It's not necessarily a pre-order only thing from my understanding, but certainly it's a while supplies last thing, so they may be gone already, but it's worth a shot. I would also note that, as I said, I was missing one. They had a replacement. They're sending it right out to me. That will not be the case for Disney Store. Speaking of which, Disney Store this time around offered what they've offered since The Force Awakens, which was that if you pre-ordered the film, you could get a special lithograph set of 4 large lithographs in a folder. Now, at the time that I did my pre-ordering through the Disney Store's online outlet, right, shopdisney.com, the only version you can actually do this with was the Blu-ray digital multi-screen edition. I don't believe you could do it for the other two, except maybe in a store. But if you had done that, you would have gotten this. Now, you can't see it on here hardly, except maybe the little ding up here. This actually has quite a bit of water damage to the top and to the corners of some of the lithographs in it. I decided to go ahead and use this one once I tested it and saw that you really can't see the damage very well on the camera here, on the iPad's camera here. I'll tell you the story of what happened with this momentarily. Suffice to say, you have the Rise of Skywalker. You got your nice setup here, very much like the regular cover. On the back, shopdisney.com and Disney Store, and then you've got your UPC, but nothing else on the back. It's not like a continuous image or anything. You open it, and you can see inside that art there, and you can see a little bit of the damage up here at the top. Get your image there, which again is kind of funny because it's based on a concept art image, right? Because you don't actually get to see that in action. Kylo doesn't have his friggin' helmet on during that fight. But that's your folder, and then inside you got 4 lithographs. Again, you can't really see the corner damage. That's good. We have the group here inside the little sinkhole type area on Pisana. The corner symbol says Disney Store 2020 exclusive commemorative lithograph. Rey with her staff. Random troopers, random stormtroopers, which almost looks like that should be coming from Force Awakens, but I believe it is still a shot from Rise of Skywalker. And then C-3PO and BB-8. BB-8 totally isn't replacing R2-D2 at all. Totally. So I would give you a word of warning about Disney Store. Disney Store, the people who package these items and send them out, unless it's automated and it's just programmed poorly, the people behind the packaging are morons. And we've talked about this before. Because what they'll do is they'll send out your lithographs and your one home video release in a box like this, right? Lithographs will lay flat. Your home video release will just be on top of it to slam around in the mail, right? There's no padding or packaging on top of it, so you got this deep box, or relatively deep box, a couple inches deep, and then you've got your flat lithographs with something banging around on top of it, but nothing to keep it from banging this way at all. That is why a lot of the Last Jedi lithographs that came out in 2018 got crushed and destroyed in the packaging process here. Then when they close it, they only close it with one piece of packing tape on either side in the center, right? Which leaves this whole area here, except for the little part covered by the tape, open. Just held tight by the tape. Nothing down here at all. This is basically just open. Well, mine got delivered in the middle of a friggin' monsoon, just about. The heaviest rain we'd seen in this area in a while, and was just sitting on my porch. So thanks to the fact that they don't actually manage to make sure it's sealed, let alone the packing material inside so it gets the shit beat out of it in the mail. But they don't actually manage to seal the package at all, other than just the 2 pieces of tape to hold those 2 spots closed where you can get, you know, anything in around it. Mine was sitting out there, and even on our porch with lots of wind and rain, got soaked. So the edges, as the water was getting inside and pooling, screwed up a lot of the parts, the edges especially, of this, made it so that this was particularly damaged. Thankfully, it was at enough of an angle that it tended to pool towards 2 corners rather than covering the entire thing. The Blu-ray inside was safe, as was its packaging, thank goodness, but I wound up having to call them for a replacement of the lithographs because their dumbass packaging damaged it because it was sitting out in the rain. Granted, partially the fault of who left it out in the rain, but it wasn't raining at the time they left it on the porch. It just kind of blasted us later on. But again, I've complained about this packaging repeatedly. It's garbage the way that they handle sending these things out. It is not protective at all. And presumably it's just like, you know what, screw it, we'll send it out. If a small number of people wind up with them damaged and wind up asking for replacements, we'll just eat the cost of the replacements. It's okay. So I call them on release day when it finally arrives that morning, damaged, and reach out to Disney Store. Hey, this got screwed up, can you send me a replacement? Which is what I had to do with Last Jedi. Oh, we don't actually have any. We don't have any stock to replace those. But we can give you a little $5 discount on your next order. To me, that falls under the kind of the eat shit type of response. The only thing that I bought this for was this. I already had a copy of the Blu-ray coming from Disney Movie Club. The only reason I spent the, 30 some odd dollars was to get the friggin' lithographs. So thanks for the $5 discount that's not going to do me any good. Now I'm going to have to go buy a replacement, as I did, but it's sitting in the other room basically in quarantine for another week, to actually replace the lithographs off of eBay for basically the cost of having bought them in the first friggin' place. Again, Disney Store, I really kind of hope they stop doing the lithographs, because until they can package them well, unless you have a Disney Store nearby that you can go to and get the lithographs from, the whole process is really hit or miss on whether you're going to have your product get damaged on the way. Honestly, if it wasn't for the collection, and if it wasn't for the fact that I was taking pictures of this stuff for the book, I'm not sure I would have cared enough, because it dried well enough that, like I said, on this type of camera, you can't really see the damage very well. But looking at it in person, this is not something I would keep in my collection. This is not something that I would want to take pictures of for the book. They need to get their act together. Then, of course, as usual, we have ourselves some exclusives for the United States, starting with the one that's been fairly consistent over the years, which is Best Buy. Best Buy, of course, offers the American version of the Steelbook. We have Kylo here, we have an embossed Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker with nothing else there on the cover. The back is Rey, but not embossed because it's not the front cover. Our spine on this edition, Ultra HD Blu-ray, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Lucasfilm down here. Same code slip, same discs and everything else, but the interior, there's your image there, right? So no exclusive content for Best Buy, but exclusive packaging, which is the Steelbook. Then we got Walmart. Walmart has been very inconsistent over the years with what they were doing with their exclusives. With Solo, it was that asinine Blu-ray only, no digital copy version. Back with Last Jedi, it was the one with the different covers that you could slip in. It was kind of taking off of the Rogue One version from Target and kind of running with that idea. And then the previous ones for Rogue One and Force Awakens, they had those Velcro flaps and the game pieces inside. It's like they really didn't know what to do with them. Well, they're back to flaps again, only this time magnetic instead of Velcro, and it's 2 flaps, not 1. It actually is the slickest looking of the exclusives this time, in my opinion. We have Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. This here is raised up. It is a separate piece attached. This is where a magnet's going to connect them. Ultra HD Blu-ray, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, Lucasfilm, and product number. Same thing on the other side. Back is just the Falcon with legalese and Lucasfilm. Again, it's magnetic, so a little bit of resistance. Resistance. And we have a shot here of Chewie with the droids, both old and new. Then you're going to open this up to one side for your Blu-ray and Blu-ray bonus disc. There's Kylo with a couple of Knights of Ren. Fold this out, let the paper fall. There's your 4K copy. There's your image inside. When you take the discs out, it is that full image. The one we saw a second ago with the folder for Disney Store. And you got your code slip in there. Really, really nice looking, really slick looking. Same content you get in the Ultimate Collector's Edition, that again is not Ultimate or a Collector's Edition, or in what you got from Best Buy, just without being in a steelbook. Now it's in this kind of cool magnetic folding packaging. Congratulations, Walmart. You've kind of made up for the asinine approach you took to Solo. Kind of. Still not going to forgive you for the bullshit back in September, October, November of 2019. You got to go a long way to fix that mess. Then you've got the only one of the exclusives that actually comes with extra content, rather than just different physical goodies like the lithographs or physical items like, say, a steelbook. Though it does have an extra physical item as well. That is this. This is the Target release. It's very similar to what we got for Last Jedi and for Solo in the sense that the packaging is very similar. The content varies across Targets. So we have cool other poster image there with Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker underneath. Again, Ultra HD Blu-ray, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, BB-8. And down at the bottom, product number with no Lucasfilm. Same thing on the other side. The back, the droids with no Chewie. Right? Here we have C-3PO, R2-D2, BB-8, and Dio. That is a slip cover. Underneath we have Rey on one side. A similar spine, except this time notice it is Dio, not BB-8, and there is no product number. The other side does not have anything. You have Kylo. That then opens to give us Finn and Janna, right, with the spot where our slips and stuff are going to go. We'll see that in a moment. Then we have Poe and Zori on the other side. And that unfolds, and there's your discs. 4 of them this time. Tucked inside the little flap with Janna and Finn, you got your digital code, and then your little book. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker gallery book. Okay, just the logo. Kylo there, the opening, the X-Wing. Printed in USA, copyright, product number. Nothing on the spine or anything there. It's pretty narrow anyway. And then inside, you have basically info about the film. You have shots of concept art, different little characters focused upon. Very much like the books that we saw with Last Jedi and Solo coming out of Target. Once you remove your discs, the remainder of the art can be seen. We have Lando with Chewie, appropriately, and Rose just kind of over here on her own, as an afterthought, kind of like in the film. The important part, though, is that you have an extra disc in here. The other discs are the same 4K regular Blu-ray discs we've seen in the other ones. But here we have a special extra featurette disc. You may recall, for The Force Awakens, they did a digital-only exclusive specific to the Target codes. Then for Rogue One, it was an extra disc. Then for Last Jedi, it was an extra disc again, with Meet the Porgs, right? But then you got to Solo, and it was, no. It's an extra code, not unlocked with a special Target code, but an extra code with the regular code for Target to give you an extra exclusive. They go back and forth on whether the exclusive featurettes just for Target are going to wind up being digital only or on a disc, but when they are on a disc, they're on a DVD, not a Blu-ray. And here it is again, a DVD, this time for Rise of Skywalker. Legalese, you can barely see this, I know, because of the glare. But it's Rise of Skywalker at the top, it's DVD video, exclusive bonus content, legalese around the edge, the technical thing down here, Lucasfilm, NTSC Region 1, Dolby Digital over here. Just very, very plain looking. What's cool about it this time, though, is that it has a featurette on it that seems to have no name. I've seen people rip this and upload it to YouTube and try to give it a name, but it doesn't have an official name on the disc or in the actual featurette itself, so I wonder what it's actually supposed to be called. I guess we'll know if this ever gets uploaded to the official site or gets added to a later release broadly. But it's a 25-minute featurette on the special effects, which is more substantial than what we tend to see when it comes to the featurettes on these extra discs. So it's really cool, and definitely it would mean that even though I think that the one that looks the coolest is the Walmart one, it's the Target one that you should probably be out there grabbing because it's the one with extra content. And this time, the extra content is actually substantial enough to justify the purchase. And you get the cool little book with it. So again, to recap, there are 3 exclusive versions of Rise of Skywalker. There is Target, that has your extra little book and an extra DVD with a 25-minute extra featurette found nowhere else. That is probably the one I would recommend. The slickest packaging-wise is the one from Walmart, but there is no extra content. Then if you want a steelbook, you want to go to Best Buy, that one again has no extra content. If you're looking for exclusive lithographs, you have Disney Store, but you're probably out of luck at this point unless your store happens to have extras of them in stock. I believe they are a pre-order specific type of thing. And then Disney Movie Club has your little mini lithograph with a different style than what we've seen before. Then you got your regular versions, your DVD-only version, your multi-screen edition that is Blu-ray and digital, and your Ultimate Collector's Edition that is 4K, Blu-ray, and digital. And if you do your digital unlocks, make sure that you synchronize all of your accounts with Movies Anywhere, so you get the extra End of a Saga on Vudu, the extra X-ray mode on Prime Video, and the extra galleries over there on iTunes. Don't worry about that legacy featurette that you could have gotten for pre-ordering on somewhere like Microsoft Store, because it's the same featurette that you would have been able to see as the Rise of Skywalker featurette on YouTube. Lastly, before we go from Rise of Skywalker specifically, I did want to point out that StarWars.com has done something that they have done since Last Jedi, and that is to give us some alternate covers that we can use if we want to print them out and assemble them and maybe put them on existing Blu-ray cases or swap them out for the ones that are officially being released. Remember, for Last Jedi, we had the ones using action figures, and they just gave us the insert that we could print, cut, and then stick onto a Blu-ray case. You had 3 with regular figures and 1 with Lego figures. And then for Solo, they did the thing where they gave us not just an insert, but a slipcover. So you would print your slipcover there with Phil Noto's artwork onto cardstock and put it together, and then take the other piece that you just print on a regular paper, cut it, stick it inside. I just basically cannibalized some old empty Blu-ray cases to be able to put these on the shelves. But they did it again for Rise of Skywalker. This time it's all concept art, and you basically have a slipcover version of each, a slipcover and an insert. So you have this one, right? This is concept art by Stephen Tappan. I don't know that, it's written on the back. So you have Rise of Skywalker here. The side there has a symbol with Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Then you have, I guess that's Ochi of Bestoon's skull. And Lucasfilm, same thing on the other side. The back has a little cut from the script specific to the scene and has more art. And then underneath, StarWars.com, cover art by, and it says who it's by. And underneath, you have a similar cover that you can print that then goes inside a Blu-ray case. That's one. You then have one with art by Adam Brockbank. Here we have the fight, right on the Death Star wreckage, Rise of Skywalker and nothing else. Similar side, only this time it's the Wayfinder in the little box. The back, again, a piece of the script connecting to it, the credits and whatnot at the bottom. And the same if you print the insert and put it inside a Blu-ray case. Then the last one, 3 of them this time. We have Kylo there, Rise of Skywalker. Similar side, on this time in the box. Hey, it's Babu Frick. On the back, script snippet, Vader helmet, credit again, and basically the same underneath. So, not official variants or anything like that, but they were special types of covers put out by StarWars.com, so I wanted to mention them here. I'll take pictures of them for the book, but they are, in effect, little freebies if you want to have something else to put on your Star Wars home video shelf. After how much collectors tend to spend in this big wave, anything free is welcome. Boy, that's a lot. And we're just getting started, really, when it comes to all these releases we're going to look at for March and April of 2020. So, in our next episode, we will look at the Skywalker Saga box set, and coming up, we'll look at some stuff out of Australia, some stuff out of Japan, and everything coming out of the UK. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.